have chocolate.
Yeah.
Whoa, I have glasses.
And I am somewhere outside. In
You
Taal.
are,
Getting
you
eaten
are,
alive.
you are.
Yes, eaten alive by fruit flies. Hey
It's
everyone.
a Saturday
Hi
morning,
all.
11 a.m. We're all back together, and hello, and welcome to a little show we call Dear Future Grandkids. And of course, we are coming to you live, like always. I'm Jen in Singapore, and today it's been really nice. It's been raining all morning. It's kind of cool, bit gloomy, just nice to just have a lion or be part of a live show. And like always, there's Ange in Hong Kong. Ange, how are you? How's things in Hong Kong?
I've just got loads. So a friend of mine, Trina, shout out to Trina, bought this for me yesterday. So this is breakfast, lunch, and dinner all covered for the next next weekend.
Next 2 weeks, exactly.
But there you
She's
go.
Yeah, she's going to be buzzing all day. And just to let everyone know as well, Ange has no food in the house. So it's the first time she can offer any of her guests just something to nibble on. So
It's so true. I
Yeah.
never have any food in the house.
it's true. And of course,
Yeah, house
not
party, house
forgetting
party.
the one and only Percival Interland in the Philippines. Today, as you can tell, the background's a little bit different. Not in the office, not in his house. He's on location, Percy, another movie, I guess.
Yeah, actually, this is not our location. I just had to look for a place that had signal. So I'm in this B&B in Taal, and it's beautiful.
Nice.
Except for there's a barking dog somewhere.
So, like, tell us where's Tal? Is it near Manila? Is it far out? How long
Taal
a
is
drive
two
it is?
hours.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from Manila, in the south of Manila. It's famous because there's an active volcano here, a small one. Well, I think the smallest or one of the smallest in the world, and it's still active. So if you see some smoke from behind me, please warn me.
I will.
But
I
knock on
will.
wood.
And this
Actually,
proves.
it has been active in the past 3 years, but it's just I think people just get used to it.
We have a viewer. We have S. Nicholas is in Tagaytay, which is
Oh,
right
there
by
you go.
you, right?
Hey, it's Nicholas. Yes, you're somewhere there.
Yeah, he's going to be right behind you. Ask Nicholas with her
Yeah.
right behind you.
Hey, yes, Nicholas.
Shout out to our viewers. Shout out to Kwai, Donna, Bree loves Bree, Jet. Oh my
Jet
goodness.
from General
Benedict.
Santos.
Yeah, Benedict, everyone else, so glad to
So
have you guys
wonderful
back.
to chat with you guys.
Yeah. So nice to see everybody again. So, if you just tuned in, this is Dear Future Grandkids. This is a show that asks an interesting guest the big question: what will you say and what will you show your future grandkids?
Yep.
We have a very talented guest for you today. She's a passionate, incredible filmmaker who was listed on Forbes magazine's 30 Under 30 for Asia list as someone to look out for. And we're not surprised. The documentary short she co-produced, St. Louis Superman, was nominated for an Oscar at the 92nd
Hey!
Academy Awards. That's a photo of our guest getting ready for the Oscar party. The film also won, oh, there she is, all dressed up in blue for the Oscars. The film also won a Critics' Choice Award for Best Short Documentary and was named one of the documentaries of the decade by the International Documentary Association. She also produced another film with the Sesame Street Workshop and HBO Max called Through Our Eyes Shelter, about the Los Angeles housing crisis as seen through the eyes of children. This was nominated for a Humanitas Prize and scored an Emmy, a nomination no less. And more recently, she was shortlisted as one of the Women of the Future for Southeast Asia. Wow. She seems to work in 3 time zones at any one time. Let's welcome to Dear Future Grandkids, Cheyenne Tan.
Woohoo!
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, you guys. What are we doing?
Hi, Cheyenne. We're all fine, and today we're gonna talk about you, find out more about you, and learn more about you. Amazing Academy Award nomination, Emmy as well. So
Emmy as
really,
well.
what an underachiever! You need to work harder, Cheyenne.
I
mean,
know.
seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, have some ambition.
Get your lazy
You're
butt
on-
up.
You're only working in 3 time zones. You need more.
We need
Yeah.
five.
So you
Yeah,
work
you need
you work
5.
three time zones, right? So and we know you've been commuting.
Oh,
Oh, I think we lost
know-
Jen.
Yeah, we lost you.
Well,
We know. So you live in Borneo at
yeah,
the moment, but your job is in LA. That's right, right?
That is right. Yeah. So I am currently based out in Malaysia for the time being, and then but I usually work in LA. I live in LA as well. But I have a feeling that I'll be back in Borneo pretty often. Just splitting my time between the two countries. Sometimes in India as well because we have a lot of projects in India. But that's the three time zones. But yeah,
So you're often
so how
working
often do you,
till 4 a.m. in the morning. Then is that?
yeah, the time
yeah.
difference with LA is severe.
Yes, a little bit rough while I'm out here. I've been doing this for a year, so it hasn't been that bad. But yeah, I get up. I used to be able to do way more when I was in my early 20s. I used to be able to get up, go out with my friends, and then come back for an
Send
hour of
emails
sleep.
at 2 a.m. Yeah.
Exactly, and then wake up and work all night, and then but now I cannot do that anymore. Now I sleep and get up at 3 instead, and work till the
Man,
morning and split my work hours like that. Yeah.
how often are you physically there though in LA?
I went back for a couple of months to wrap up production and bring post production back to LA. For a couple of months, I think back in April through June.
Mm.
So, but this
Oh,
time I'm
okay.
actually heading back again soon, for a little bit longer because we're starting this production are about to go up again, and we have to go back to the field, and COVID's basically over, right? According to a lot
We
of
hope so.
countries.
We hope so. Go away, COVID.
Yeah,
COVID may
exactly.
be over, but that's how my internet connection is behaving at the moment. What happened? What
Yeah,
happened? I have
yeah,
What
you
no
was
clue.
disappeared
that?
there.
I have no clue what happened there. I think that was the best part of the show when I was not around. So yeah, I'll probably just stay away.
Always.
Well, okay, Cheyenne. Before we lose Jen again, let's go through some quick fire questions. All right. So,
Let's do
first
it.
question: what was your first career break?
I guess when I decided I wanted to make documentaries.
How old
Was
were
that
Wow.
just
you?
a decision?
Yeah, it was really strange because it felt like the answer was like right in front of me the whole time because I mean, growing up I was really vocal about like social injustices and like why are we not treated the same, whatever, right? And I would debate my teachers, my friends, anyone who would debate with me, really, like friendly debate, sometimes not that friendly, but but when I was younger. Um, but I've always also wanted to be a storyteller and make films. And I suppose documentary is like kind of the perfect marriage, of the two. But I
Hmm.
didn't I didn't realize that until I started making documentaries, when I was already in my senior year in film school. So yeah, so that was a few years ago, and then just kind of didn't look back since.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay. Best part about your job? I'm
Best
sure
part
there
of
are
my
many, but
job.
best part.
I think it's when you make a specific film for the audience and for them for people to react to it. It's really nice to see where people get a glimpse of themselves or people who look like themselves or have the similar struggles on screen. I think that's where people feel very validated and suddenly feel like you exist in this world. I think that's really important, especially seeing like the impact that it has on people and whatever change that the film can make. I think that's really very rewarding.
Yeah,
That's why we do it, right?
Yeah.
yeah, you're making a
Yeah.
difference. You're making a
Mhm.
difference. Now, what's the worst part of your job?
um I think it's easy to really fall into the trap of of working too much, because it doesn't feel like work all some of the time, like a lot of the times actually it doesn't feel like work, so it's hard to like find that balance. That's why I'm home. I'm trying to be home a little bit more and spend some time with my family. But at the same time, as you can tell, like my time difference is a little bit wacky too. So
Well,
yeah.
when you find that balance, can you let us know?
I was gonna ask you that question.
No, no, no.
You've been doing this longer than I
No,
have.
no. Wisdom doesn't come with age. That's what we can
No.
prove.
Yeah. No. If it's anything about Percy and Ange as well, they probably work too hard. But I guess it's something that's been instilled since you were young, right? You've got to work hard, work as much as you can. But I think it's something that we've become more aware these days. It's just that resting, resetting, and all of that rejigging is equally as important as working hard, right? If not, you burn out, right? We just have that Asian mentality, that work ethic. We just got to keep going, keep going. If not, you're lazy and all of that. Well, anyway, that's what I tell myself because I just sit on the couch and not do anything. But more importantly, Cheyenne, it's all about you. And of course, we're creating this video time capsule for your future grandkids. So this is something that they'll see in the future. Now, as a documentary filmmaker, what documentary must see is your recommendation for your future grandkids? I mean, of course, yours, but is there like a must see that you would say, you know what, you have to watch this?
Must see. I don't know. I'm not really biased towards any film because some of my film recommendations are either too serious or like not serious at all. like a celebrity documentary. We all like a little bit of celebrity documentaries once in a while. Right? But I would highly recommend maybe 13 Eva DuVernay on the serious side, 13, which is a really good look into the American justice system and and race and history overall. And then of course there's another doc that was really fun, but also like has a little bit of a serious undertone to it. It's called Three Identical Strangers, about three triplets who reunited and didn't know that they were separated at birth and found each other as young men and then realized the real reason why they were separated was a little bit more sinister than unexpected.
No.
It's really fun.
It's a great film. It has a twist,
Wow.
Unusually
Yeah.
in the middle.
Yeah.
It has this massive twist that you just can't believe that you didn't see coming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
great recommendations, Grandma. Very light viewing for your grandchildren.
I'm curious what the guilty pleasure is. What is your guilty pleasure celebrity documentary? Come on, you have to give us one.
my guilty celebrity. Okay, it's not even celebrity. It's just straight up reality show, which is non-scripted, I guess, intention. I don't know, but I've been really obsessed with F-Boy Island lately.
Love
which
it.
is,
No.
I'm telling you, my spectrum.
No, it's great.
I was
You
I
are a
was
human
afraid.
being.
Yeah, I was afraid you're gonna say like Below Deck or something like that.
It's so much fun and for no reason. I don't know why I keep watching that show, but it's so funny.
Sometimes it's so bad it hooks you, right? It just hooks you, yeah. You know, and you just don't want to think about it. Okay,
Yeah.
so from recommending those documentaries to what sort of music or a piece of music or a type of genre or a song is a must listen?
Well, for me, I'm a huge K-pop fan, so
No, okay.
Ooh,
huge. I've
okay.
been to K-cons multiple years and all the BTS concerts in LA for the past few years. Huge
No
fan.
way.
So if my kids are not BTS fans, I don't think I want them. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
My
it's like
kids.
you disown them. Have you?
No,
I
yeah.
I don't know if this is actually a question that anybody can ask a BTS fan. I mean, do you have a favorite, or you have to
I
love them all,
do.
or you do?
I love
Who's your?
them all, but there's one that's like a little bit more
It's
special than the
yeah,
others.
and that and you're gonna
Who's
share
that?
who that is?
Yeah, he's the leader of the group called RM. I don't know.
Oh.
I just see a lot in him that I really admire in people in general, not just men and women, but like the way he can lead. And we're the same age, and I feel like I found BTS when I was a really low point in my life, and their music was really helpful. But then after a while, it became sort of a source of inspiration for me to keep going as
Aw.
well, because they're my same age, and it's just like if they can do it, then I can do it too, that kind of thing.
An inspiration as well. Nice. Now,
Yeah.
so we've done documentaries, we've done music. Now, books. What is a must read for them?
I must read books.
Yeah.
Honestly, as long as they read, I'm good.
So true. Good advice.
like read a book,
Good
not
advice.
read off the internet, right? Like read a
Yeah,
book.
anything. As long as you're touching like pages, I'm good.
But is there like a
Um,
title, like something that you've read recently, or something from your childhood that you think that, oh wow, this is amazing, they have to read this book?
yeah, The Little Prince is always a good book to start
Oh, I
with.
love that book.
The Little
Yeah.
Prince.
Mhm.
I want to say Harry Potter, but I don't know how I feel anymore because of recent allegations against the author. It's a bit of a conflict. That it's like when people still listen to music by specific artists that
Yeah.
are no longer are now
No,
questionable and problematic. But Harry Potter is really such a good book to get kids started, reading and stuff. So I would still recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember I first read Harry Potter, and it just was word of mouth then. It wasn't well known. And I remember saying to someone, I've fallen in love with a 10-year-old boy. And they're like, what? And I said, oh, no, I mean fiction.
Even then, what?
Yeah,
no,
but you're
no.
so
I
good.
remember bringing the books to our long haul flights, and like I
Back in
could
the
have an
day.
8 hour flight without watching anything and just reading one of the books. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
That was.
easy. It's so easy to like get sucked into that world, and it's such an easy read. I think it's just a testament to like good writing as well.
Mm, mm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's really really well done world building.
Yeah, it is. It's such a world, isn't it? You just
It,
transported instantly into Hogwarts, and it's so hard to world build. But
Yeah.
she does it impeccably well.
yeah, it is because I have young kids and my wife she really instills that. So she's been reading the Harry Potter books to them first before allowing them to watch the movie because she wants
Yeah.
them to
That's
imagine
good.
that world, imagine all of that first, and then watch it. So I mean, it's interesting. Then when they watch it, because oh yeah, that's it. But because no, I pictured it differently, or in the book this wasn't there, because parts of it
Yeah.
would be missing. So I mean, all in all, it's an amazing book, and that's a great recommendation for sure. Harry Potter.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it'll be
Yeah.
timeless.
yeah.
And I just
Mhm.
want to shout out, we've got Bree loves Bree, who's also, I'm a BTS fan. My favorite is V.
Oh,
Just so you know.
nice.
I love
Yeah.
V. He's got the whole package, if you ask me. But we have Bree love Bree, who loves Jimin. Jimin's favorite.
Nice.
And
Jimin's
we're
That's
all
favorite.
very jealous that you've seen, I've never seen BTS live. I've seen Blackpink live, but never
You've seen
seen
Blackpink
BTS.
live? No, I
Yeah, they
haven't
were
seen any of them
amazing. They were
live.
Oh, wow.
really fantastic. Could dance, could sing, note perfect.
Yeah.
Really, they spoke Cantonese to the crowd. It was
Oh, I didn't know
What?
they
fantastic.
do that.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, they totally spoke Cantonese. Yeah, little phrases here and there to the crowd. They were really great. But I'd love to BTS top of my list, I think, to see live. Oh, that's so great. So, what's a piece of advice, Cheyenne, you find yourself often giving to young fellow filmmakers?
God. What do I give advice for?
Hmm.
Telling stories that matter to you. I think that's really important, especially as you're starting out. I think I'm going through the same thing myself as well. I'm trying to venture out into the directing space a little bit more now that I've been producing for quite a few years. But I'm trying to find that piece of story that that really speaks to me, that matters to me on a more personal level, because it really comes across on screen when you make something that you don't really care as much about. And you'll be living with these subjects and with this topic for a long time. It takes a while to make a documentary. So if you don't love it, the subject matter, then you're gonna burn out very fast.
Good advice. And here we are asking you quick fire questions, but you're a documentarian. I'm sure you have to ask loads of questions to people that you barely know, but you want them to answer in an honest and authentic manner. So do you have a list of go-to questions that instantly help you build rapport with your interviewees to get them warmed up? Is there any techniques or tips that you can recommend for us for dear future grandkids?
Yeah, I do actually. At our company, I learned this from my boss, who is a director and producer, Smriti Mundra. She is amazing, and I've worked with her for a while now. But we treat interview questions, especially at the very beginning, as like it's like almost like a blind date. You go in, and I think New York Times have like a list of questions that you should ask people on dates to build intimacy and friendship.
Mm.
So we use those questions, and those questions are very universal. Like what part, like what if you could change something about your childhood, what would you change and why, and things like that people ask each other to like kind of get to know each other. So yeah, we treat it like it really feels like blind dating in a way too, because you want to build that rapport, you want them to trust you. It's a relationship, and when you watch a documentary, when the subjects open up to the camera, it's often to the filmmakers that they're open up to. not the camera specifically. So so being their friend and actually genuinely their friend, and getting to know them and letting them know you, knowing so that they know that they are in safe hands. I think that's part of the process, and it's the best part, honestly.
Wow, I love that advice. I mean, I've never been on a blind date before. I never intend to go on a blind. I can't imagine anything more mortifying. But the next time I do go on a blind date, Cheyenne, if I ever do, I will remember this conversation that we had. Because
Now I
in my
wish.
head, it's going to be so awkward. In my head, you sit there going, someone asked me once to go on a blind date, and I'm like, what are you supposed to say on your blind date? Like, my favorite color's purple. What's your favorite color? And she's like, that's completely what you'd never say on a blind date. But now I know.
It works for me on at work, with interviews and stuff. I wish it worked in real life too, because I don't know. I guess people just don't follow the script in real life.
Yeah, how dare you?
How dare you?
Yeah, it's
well,
okay.
You don't carry a camera and a microphone on a blind date in real life.
Yeah,
yeah.
But you could.
I might have to now.
Yeah, that's an icebreaker. But it's okay. I've seen some of Ange's dates. It's best if she was blind anyway.
No.
Jen, we're live. We have an audience. Jen, we're live. We have an audience. There's not just you and me, dude. Come on.
I keep forgetting.
We can't edit this, Jen. We can't edit this.
Sorry. I keep forgetting. Sorry.
Now, Cheyenne, obviously we imagine you're just dressed up for the Oscars and the Emmys all day long, and making documentaries all day long is just super cool and super glamorous. But come on, give us a reality check. We know it's not always like this.
No, it's not. If you had seen me this morning, you'd know it's not like that. So I guess I think a lot of things goes on behind the scenes. Even getting those people up to my room to get me ready was a bit of like a production as well. But I would say that the biggest reality check for me in my whole life probably is that when the day after the Oscars, the festivities, so they put us up for a week at a hotel in LA closer to the venue, so that we don't have to travel that far. LA is a huge city, right? When I came back to my apartment, I came back to a completely trashed apartment. My stuff were fine, but like the apartment itself was completely trashed, messy. Everything's like my roommates, their housemate stuff, everything's gone. And turns out she hasn't been paying rent, and I was subletting. And I became homeless immediately with my dresses, with my clothes, everything from the Oscars still packed behind me in a suitcase. And I'm just like, wait, what am I? What am I?
You're literally homeless.
I was literally homeless. Yeah, literally homeless. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, reality check, and then everyone had it was like a little bit of an after party, and I was like finding a room in the house, stop my eyes out, and then the next day, I had to pack up and leave. And our subject for St. Louis Superman, God bless him, Bruce, Superman himself came and helped me pack my apartment, and I was out of it within a few days. But yeah, talk about reality check.
Well, and talk about building relationships. So the subject of your documentary, your award-winning documentary, St. Louis Superman, his name is Bruce Franks, right?
Yes.
He came over and helped you move and find a place.
Yes. Yeah, he did. He helped me move. It was a lot of tears, a lot of hugs, a lot of "you'll be fine." And then I moved out. And my boss and her family so very kindly hosted me for a few months, and then coincidentally COVID lockdown happened right after that, because the Oscars was in February and then the lockdown was in March. So coincidentally it all just kind of lined up, and I guess good in a way, because I wasn't alone for the first part of the pandemic. Her family's been really kind, and I'm very close to her mom and her kids as well. So yeah, wild ride, guys.
That's incredible. And I love the way you describe. You said there's lots of hugs and tears, and you'll be fine. Like sometimes that's all you need, right? You just need someone to come over and just tell you that everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But I'm okay. I'm okay now. I think it takes I think now that I laugh about it, but thinking back, it's like even when I was crying and like right after it happened, I was like, I'm gonna like write this in my autobiography one day, and it'll be a really good
Yeah,
story.
yeah, yeah.
It is a really good story. It cannot get more of a juxtaposition from being dressed up, being nominated for the Oscars, attending the Academy Awards, and then coming home. Your apartment's trash, and he goes, "My
With
housemate
nowhere
has
to
been paying
stay.
rent, and I'm homeless." It cannot be more different.
Yeah, I call it my little Cinderella moment because my dress was, it should be
Oh.
foreshadowing. My dress was blue, Cinderella blue,
That's
like all
true.
of it.
Did you
And
leave your shoe?
I, you know what? One of my shoes was missing. Literally, when I was
No.
packing and moving, like, like literally, it
Oh
was.
my god.
That
Well,
is a
someday
modern
somebody
day-
will come
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, Cheyenne.
with a shoe. Like, is your shoe?
Maybe I don't have to do that blind date anymore.
No, baby. I tell you what. If you're on a blind date, just start with that story. Just start with that story.
Yeah,
You'll be
yeah.
fine.
By
Absolutely
any
fine.
chance, have you seen a shoe?
Do you
said
have
something
it?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, now Cheyenne, we've come to the part of a show where we have a segment called the Corner of Shame. Well, where we get our guests to show us a part of a place in the apartment or a room where they don't normally show anyone. Where maybe just to put the trash over there, or just too many toys or clothes or whatsoever. But we know that as a documentary filmmaker, you're always trying to uncover parts of people's lives and homes that they might be very, very private about. So, how do you do that? How do you gain that trust? How do you get them to show themselves up to you?
By being their friend, I suppose. I think there's a lot of ways to do that, but one way is really to open up about yourself as well, because it feels unfair if we expect people to just open up. And sometimes, in cases of our films, people are opening up and rehashing things that are very traumatizing. The kids, may not know or they only know in certain degrees, like how homeless or unhoused they are. But having to have them talk about it all the time when we're there, I think a lot of times we don't want them to associate us with just their trauma and having to talk about it. So we open up about ourselves again, and as well, so that they feel a little bit more comfortable, like, oh, I know a little bit about you as well, and not just kind of spilling my secrets or whatever
Yeah.
out to one single person. Yeah.
Nice. So it's a proper connection and to build trust as well. So
Yeah.
I kind of feel that we've built that trust. So now show us your corner of shame. Come on. Well, okay. First
Come
things
on,
first.
come on.
Do you have one? Pick up the phone or the laptop. Is there a corner of shame? I know you're back.
Is
You're
there
back
one?
in Borneo, back in Sarawak. So is there one? I mean, if there isn't, that's fine. That's fine. That's okay. But if there is,
No,
we would
you
like
know
to
I
see it.
have one. You
Yes!
know I have one. I'm actually sitting in it right now, so we don't have to go very far. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fine, let me show you.
Yes,
So right
please.
behind me, is a broken chair, a literal broken chair with a trash can sitting in it. We've been
It's a
meaning
piece
to
of
fix
art.
it.
That one.
Why is there a trash?
That-
Why
It's
have
an
you
art
put trash?
installation
First of
over
all,
there.
why don't you just throw it out? I guess you're not
Because
going to
we've
fix
been
it.
meaning to fix it. We've been meaning to fix it, and we never got around to fixing it. And we just figured, you know what? It'll just sit there for God knows how long.
It's the most comfortable trash
And
bin
then you
there
put a
is.
trash,
It's on
and
a
then you put a
cushion,
trash
yeah.
can on top of it, which is the funny thing.
It's saving space, and
Ah.
we're saving space. We don't need any more.
It's
And then of
got a
course
nice
I have,
symmetry to it too.
It is. It is a piece of art.
and then I have. I don't know if you guys can see this, but of course I'm a filmmaker, so of course I have
Yeah.
my stacks of hard drives and
Ooh.
random books and
Oh,
The
Perci would know
graveyard
about
of the
that.
hard
Yeah.
drives.
Yeah.
stacks
Yeah,
of
I know
documents
that.
everywhere. Sitting right
Ooh,
underneath
is that
his
a
desk.
curved? Do you have a curved, like 32-inch
I do.
computer? Oh, I'm such a monitor. I'm such a computer monitor nerd. Oh my goodness! Like,
But
is
it's
it
not my
good?
shame.
Go.
It's good, but it's not.
Let me
it's not
see it,
really my
let's see it.
corner of shame.
Okay, audience.
Oh,
This is a
it is
what
curved.
This is a curved. What? How big is it? How big is this monitor?
32
I
inch,
think it's
right?
32. Yeah, it's 32.
I have
Um,
such monitor envy right now. I obsess about like my perfect home office setup. In fact, I dug out a list of, something I wrote maybe 10 years ago, and it had my wishes on it, and it said something like, go to Cuba, go to Tibet, pay off mortgage, have a really cool computer monitor. That was the height of my ambition.
You've done it all. You've done it all, right? You've got a cool computer monitor. Yeah, you've done
You
it
got a
all.
cool computer
Okay.
monitor now, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, you're set.
You're
I still have
good.
computer monitor envy. I still obsess that everyone else has picked a better computer monitor than I could have possibly picked. And I always wait. I'm like, oh, well, why don't we wait till the 4K? Why don't we wait till HK comes out? Why don't we wait till it gets cheaper? Why don't we wait till you can make it go that way, right? It's like,
It can now, right? It can now.
And the curved can't, I don't think. I've
That's
never come across a
true.
curved. Just the normal one can. Hey viewers, you can switch off for a while. And we got some talking to do. Okay, so we just
Yeah,
Oh,
I think the
God.
tech people are staying around for a while. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. All right, let's move on. Cheyenne,
Oh,
do you
geez.
have two treasures from either your work or your career that we could take a look at as well?
Yes.
Don't say a monitor. Don't say a monitor.
Don't show the monitor anymore. Don't get her started.
I would say one is very boring. It's my Apple Watch. It's very helpful because I work across so many time zones. It has, like, while I'm here in Malaysia, I can see what time exactly in LA without needing to do the math. And then of course when I'm there, I know exactly what time it is in Malaysia without doing the math as well. So I love this. And also while on set, during the pandemic when we had to make shelter, because when we were making it, it was like not too long after the shutdown, and we were all still figuring out a standard procedure safely, to film with the kids and stuff. Our cinematographer and our sound people were the only ones allowed in the room with them, with the windows open and everything, which is very not common at all. Usually we have like a whole team of people in the room. So what we've been doing at the time is that we would, because you can get text on your watch, so we would text each other, and our cinematographer will get directions from our team and our director on his watch, and we've been communicating with each other just like that, while we're on set and things. So he knows, I need to film a little bit more of his face or whatever, without needing to do the actual conversation, because the director and the rest of the team would have our own monitors that we can like connect and watch from outside of the room too. So it's really helpful.
Wow.
Nice.
And what's your other item?
My
have you got
other
anything else?
item, yes, is so after being homeless and staying in my boss's house for a while, and I moved into a new apartment, which I had to let go when I came back home to visit. But for that apartment, I actually commissioned some paintings from a local artist in Malaysia of. So that's actually me as a child coming getting off the bus. A local bus.
Nice.
So what's the name of the artist? So you gave an artist a photo of you coming off, a cute little photo of you coming off a school bus, and then the artist sort of translated it in her own style, his or her own style.
Yeah, so her name is Ashley Ng, and she's based in KL, Kuala Lumpur. And I actually didn't give her any pictures at all. I just said, this is what I'm thinking in my head, and just go run and have fun with it. And she's from Kuching as well. We're from the same hometown, so she knows exactly what like the local buses look like, and especially when I was around that age, she would know like what type of bus, that I would have to take to get from my school to the home. So that's one. It's a series of 3 images actually, so in progression. So this one as, I guess, like a primary school child, maybe 7 years old, 8. And then I used to spend a lot of time in, at the biscuit shop, traditional cookie shop with the cat.
We have a beautiful picture here of a traditional Malaysian cookie shop. This shop owner.
I remember this. The weighing machine,
It's gorgeous.
It's
and
all
then we had the cat because I come from Kuching, and Kuching means cats in Malay. So a little
Yeah.
bit of tribute to like my little hometown. We are obsessed with cat in the city too. We have cat statues everywhere and stuff.
Cheyenne cat statue in the roundabout. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So the cat is a little bit of a tribute to the city, and it has to be a calico cat too, like a three-colored cat. And the last one, I actually have one last one. It's a series that I was gonna frame it up, but I haven't managed to do that yet. But this is
Because you got to fix the chair first before
I
you
You
do
gotta
it.
fix the chair. Yeah.
this, this is the just a view from the plane and overlooking the Sarawak River, and this is, I suppose, symbolic because it could be views of me coming back home or leaving home, that kind
Yeah.
of feeling. So
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
Great. What a
Nice.
great
Yeah.
commission. I
Thank
never would have
you.
thought of doing that.
yeah.
It's original, it's unique, but it's so personal as well.
Especially when it's home away from home when you're in LA. That's so nice to have in the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
it-
Always
and it
needing to find
captures.
that anchor, right? The roots
Yeah.
and the anchor of where you come from and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, it's really great.
Absolutely.
And it
Brilliant.
captures milestones in your life.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Well,
nice.
okay. Cheyenne, we've been talking about how accomplished you are and everything that you've achieved in all your young years, and we're very envious.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this show is about propping you up to take you down again.
Thank you.
So
We need
you got a
that.
lot of kids. So we want to know what your most pointless skill is, if you even have one. You have a pointless skill?
It's not pointless. It's a pointless point skill. It's a
Oh, it's a
useful
useful
Pointless.
pointless skill.
Point-
It's useless for some people, but for me, it's so useful. I can take naps anywhere. So
Okay,
so
yes.
it's good, right?
That's not
Like
a
when I
pointless
was a
skill. That's an
child,
amazing skill.
it's an amazing skill. I remember when I was a child, when I was like 2 or 3 years old, my parents used to tell me that we would sleep. Very dangerous. Do not do this. But we would stand in the car in the back passenger seat and sleep standing up.
Huh?
Like when we were like 3 years old or something, when when your head can still fit the seat.
Mhm.
But like we
Yeah.
would just take naps like that, and
That's
do not
Standing
do this.
up.
It was
Standing up.
standing up with the mouth wide open. Do not do this. Very dangerous.
So
With
so
the
I'm
seatbelt
curious.
straps and stuff.
When you board a plane, how many seconds or how many minutes before you fall asleep? The moment you sit down on a plane.
Honestly, I
Seatbelt on.
struggle. I struggle on long haul flights because I want
No.
to eat first.
Oh, you
I want
don't
to
get
eat
to sleep.
first, so I cannot sleep. So I have to stay up until they serve the food and then
Ah.
finish eating and then get it all away because
And
that
then
takes
settle down.
forever. And
Yeah.
then sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
you have that routine.
usually I don't need much time. I can just conk out.
That's a good
What's up?
skill. It's not pointless.
It's not
Yeah.
pointless at all.
Yeah.
It's actually something that people want now. People who would have trouble sleeping.
I know. I do. So I don't hold myself back from napping at all. Also, because people keep telling me that as you get older, you start sleeping less, and that scares me because I love sleeping, and I have to take all the naps that I can take now. So I'm pretty
Yeah,
good.
because that's how it works, Cheyenne. That's exactly how it works. You take a lot of naps now so that you don't have to sleep later. You bank it. Yes, that's exactly
Yeah.
how the biology of that works. Yes.
But what
Same
do
with
you
exercise.
do?
You can
Hey,
run around
what
as a
do
kid
you
and you never have to exercise again. You'll have a six-pack when you're 60 if you do all your
Actu-
exercise and take care of it now. Yes.
Cheyenne, let me just give you a tip from somebody who's also in the industry. It's not called nap time, it's called rendering time.
You're right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry, I'm just
productive.
rendering.
It's
Yeah, I'm rendering.
productive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
rendering. Oh, wow.
That's a euphemism.
Now I feel less guilty.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
Chey-
see?
So before you take a nap, we want you to sort of like go back in time and tell us about your childhood. Now, paint a picture of Cheyenne, the kid. I mean, we literally saw a picture that was painted of you
It's true.
coming down from the bus. But tell us about your childhood. What do you remember about it?
Oh, Well, I was always the only girl growing up. That's myself and my twin brother. Actually, I have a twin brother, and I think growing up with a twin brother is always something that has shaped me a lot as a woman. Because we were raised so differently. We have the same parents, same family, raised. I'm literally officially a minute older than him, so we went to the same school, same teachers, all of that stuff. But we I think we came out very out of into adulthood very differently,
Mm.
seeing things in the world very differently as well. But of course I was also, I feel like, very much shaped by the way that we were raised differently, as him as a boy and me as a girl, right? I think the
Okay.
different expectations that we have on women, me needing to do the dishes and clean the house while he, not may not necessarily be expected to do that, and things like that. So I think that really shaped how early it was for me to see how unfair the world can be to different groups of people. Obviously, we're very close, and I adore both of my siblings dearly, but they're boys, and I'm the only daughter, and all of that stuff. And so, we've
Were
been
you
taught.
resentful then, Cheyenne? Were you resentful because you could see very clearly that you were put in sort of gender types? Did you
Yeah.
feel bitter at the time when you were young, and how did you sort of reconcile that?
Yeah, I suppose there was a period of time where it was a bit resentful, but I think I was,
Mhm.
as a teenager, overall, I was a bit angsty too. So I don't know how much of it was resenting my siblings and our upbringing versus because after that, for high school, secondary school, we went separate ways. I went to an all girls school and he went to an all boys school.
Yeah.
So I always say that we're sort of like social experiments, because same upbringing, but then after that we split into different schools and stuff. And my girls school was a little bit conservative as well. I think the resentment was really there because, especially now that I think back about it, it's like, how can you be raising future women and be teaching us so many conservative ideas,
Mm.
catering all the way down to our bras, and not being able to wear specific color bras because it would
Yeah.
distract the boys across the street or the
Yeah.
5 male teachers in the school, and this is a
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
school of girls, and we have to adhere to that kind of rules and values. And it's just, I remember I was very angry in school because of that, and always like picking fights with the teachers and stuff, about things like this, and of course about history as well. The Malaysian education system and our history books are not exactly kind to certain groups of people as well, so always debating on that.
Yeah. Not very accurate, is it also, right?
Mm,
And then the
And
no.
fact
that's
that
in
you were born 1 minute older, does that mean that, I know in Chinese that you always call Zhe and you're called
Oh yeah, he
Mui,
calls me Tete, and
and
I
it's
pull that sibling card all the time. Like, nope, I'm still older than you. Like, I still demand that
really,
respect. Yeah.
wait
Yeah,
a
because
minute.
he's never called you by name, right? Because I'm the youngest. And yeah, same. I've never called my older brother or sister by name. I gotta go,
Go
go,
and
yeah,
Zhe.
yeah,
Yeah.
because
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
because my friend had twins and she's Chinese, and she banned all of us from referring to people in their heart. So we have to refer to her twins by their name. We can't call them by the hierarchy in the family. So we can't use Zhe and Mui Mui to refer to them. And I
Oh,
thought that
that's
was a really,
interesting.
because she's like, well, they're only 2 minutes apart. So why would you, suddenly someone's the elder one, someone's the younger when they're twins. So we all have to be really careful because you kind of fall into it immediately, right?
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 And I
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
that was very good.
Yeah,
Ah.
I agree. That's very progressive of her to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they're pretty young. They're only like 4 years old, so it's in a new generation, I would say. Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
very that we were very specifically told, and no one ever asks now. I mean, I've forgotten who's the eldest anyway, and
Yeah.
it doesn't make any difference. And we know never to ask and sort of talk about the dynamics. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah. Yeah.
wow. Wow.
I had always played the sister card, the older sister card as well.
You played it?
You played a card.
boss boss them around and tell them to do things for me, because of course, why wouldn't I, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
But then I suppose, there's a different type of expectations put on my twin brother because he's the older brother, and there's always a sense of like, oh, like you have to be the protector even at a young age, like I'm the
Mm.
nurturer and he's the protector, so he's always told to like take care of Tete. Like, oh, you're just gonna go, run to the shop and buy something. Like, you are the protector. You have to defend her. That kind of thing. So I guess that's also unfair to put on boys. That like harden them. So I suppose that again, the upbringing is different, right, from that generation and all of that stuff in that little small town environment as well. But I think it's one of those things that you have to unlearn as you're older.
No, I mean,
So there were
I can
three
really,
of you
yeah.
in total. There were 3 siblings in total.
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
twins and then a younger brother.
And a younger brother, yes, who is now married.
I can, yeah.
Look at the
I
eyebrows.
love the rolling of the eyes.
He's the one married.
Got
He's the one
married
Big sister
first.
opinions. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Cheyenne, I can relate to you because I've got 3 kids and I've got a boy and then I've got twins, a boy and a girl.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
so it's I think we're a little bit different. I mean, we do acknowledge that one's a minute older, so the boy is older, and then my daughter's the youngest. Yeah, I do relate about you gotta look after your brother or your sister, but it's kind of like always saying that you two gotta look out for each other. Not because you're a boy, you gotta look out
Yes.
for your sister. And then now they're 8 turning 9. Trust me, I trust my daughter a lot more than my son, her brother. If anything, it's like, her name's Lexi. Lexi, can you just look after him? Can you make sure everything's okay? You're more organized. So I understand. I can relate where you're coming from as well with these expectations, but in reality, actually, it's the opposite.
Yeah, I think it's interesting in terms of gender roles also, like how
Yeah.
do we
Yeah.
perceive them, right? And how much is in them that comes out, and how much is from what we teach them or what we tell them.
And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not, and it's also gender roles within the dynamic. So if you're the oldest, if there's boy, boy,
Yes.
and girl,
Yes.
apparently, and if there's boy, boy, girl, and then boy, boy, for example, the girl, because it's the girl is the
youngest.
and ends up being like the gata, ends up being like the matriarch.
Yes.
And I read this book, an article the other day, and it said because families are getting smaller and smaller now, so lots of families are only having 1 child or 2 children. The third child, and I'm the middle child, so this is why I remember this fact. The third child acts as a real mediator and calms everyone down a lot of the time. So the fact there's only 2 children in families now, maximum, and these smaller modern families have, means that people can't deal with mediation and conflict, and that's why people get stressed, and that's why there's a lot more arguing and fighting in general society and people getting outraged because they didn't grow up with that person in the middle who kind of the middle one like me who softens. And I thought that's really interesting. It's a very, very interesting fact. I don't know if it's true or not, but you can see how it plays out, that you always have, when there's 3 of you, you always have to sort of settle in the middle and have some agreement, and there's usually someone plays that diplomatic role, right?
Exactly. That's why he's a lawyer and I'm not.
Oh, there you go. Exactly.
You're the creative one. Then go on the fly. Yeah.
You're the one that looks for the truth.
Yes.
He's the one that has to prove it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
Still
well,
defending to this day.
yes,
defending.
till this day.
But that's the thing. He still defends anything you say.
Only in public though. In private, it plays against me. He's gonna bring his lawyer card now.
Oh, is it? Well, okay, Cheyenne. All right, we've got another part of the show where it proves just how nosy we are. Can you take your phone? Because we would like to hear you leave a voice message to someone special in your life. Could be anybody. Could be your twin. We'd love to hear the arguments.
Yeah. Why are you calling me? This is so random. Why are you leaving a message?
You know I'm busy right now.
Yeah.
It's Saturday morning.
You're already back in the same time zone. Leave me alone.
But since you're out, can you tap out food for me?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And a specific
okay.
stall.
Oh, we heard the message already. Then.
Okay. Let's see.
right.
Let's see. I can say whatever I want, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely
We're only
whatever you
live.
want.
We're only live.
We're only 200 people watching this, maybe.
Yes, you
Yeah.
have Lara watching
Yeah.
from Hong Kong. We've got Eric on, Ken on. Not to put you on your spot, you've got Wolf Spain who loves Harry Potter. So not that many people listening. Go ahead.
No,
Okay,
no,
we're good.
Yep.
Okay. Hey. Hi Judy, I know you're on set as always. And we haven't talked since last night. But in our world, I guess that's a long time. But I think this is something that I don't know if I can ever say to you in person or on text ever. But I hope you know that throughout our friendship for so many years, you have been a constant rock and source of comfort to me. Your humor, everything, like being able to talk to you about anything from family to work to celebrity gossip and Harry Styles. Um, I hope that you know that I love you. Don't cringe. I'm cringing. I love you. And when you come back from set and from KL, please let me know and we can go karaoke and do all that fun stuff. Bye.
That was so
I
beautifully
love it.
awkward
Oh
and
wow.
genuine and
Genuine.
heartfelt. And it
Yeah,
had to
how
end
it's
in a
supposed
bye
to be.
because that's
Yeah.
bye.
Bye.
I'm so awkward and embarrassed right now, so I'm gonna say bye.
No, I love how it opened like
Yeah. I love
Eh.
that. Eh. That's so lovely and so genuine. That's
Hey,
how it
if you
is,
get a
right?
message, if they reply by the end of this show, you got to tell us. You got to, whatever it is, you got to play it live in front of
will.
us. It's
Oh
so
God,
beautiful.
live. Well,
I
she's
feel like-
upset, so she might not respond to me right now.
So
Well,
I
we-
assume that
we
that's
shall
your best
see.
friend. That's your
That
best
is my
friend.
best friend. Yeah,
Okay.
we went to school together, and I've known her the longest, probably my oldest friend. So yeah, she's also in the industry back home in Malaysia, so she's like also kind of doing the same thing.
oh man.
Wow.
But I
Yeah.
love how you took this opportunity to say something that you would not say in real life. You know?
Even though you're best friends.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
No,
because it's just
actually
strange and
it made me
weird,
think.
right? But yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I've got friends from high school, and I just went out with a group of friends recently, and I
Wait,
realized
hold
that
on. Is it Sharon?
No, it's not.
No.
Sharon's my cousin. Hi, Jack.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go.
Because Sharon,
hi,
Sharon's
Sharon.
watching now, and she's like a virtual hug. So hi Sharon.
Oh, there you go.
I did not threaten her to watch this show. I promise. She did it on her own accord.
Yeah, you can call Sharon now. No, no, but
Yeah,
these
no,
are
Sharon's my
things
cousin.
we don't say. We don't say to the people that we're closest to, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no,
It
we don't.
somehow eludes you. Like you never get the chance to say it.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
Yeah,
It's really
yeah,
sweet.
yeah. We should say it more often, really. But it's still cringy and strange.
Well, tell you
Yeah.
what. I mean, if you've
I
got
agree.
anything to say to anybody, just tell us, and we'll get you on the show, and we'll give you another
Okay,
opportunity.
let's square up. This is a red
Yeah.
table talk now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is the Dear Future Grandkids version, Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Cheyenne, we want you to imagine, right? Your future grandkids are sitting down on a sofa in their terrapod in Mars, and they're looking at whatever the version of Netflix is going to be like in 30, 40, 50 years' time. And they're like, what should we watch? And we're like, oh, there's a documentary on about our grandmother, Cheyenne Tan. What do you hope? How long do you want that documentary to be? What do you hope is in it? What do you think? How do you think it plays out? And what do you think their response would be?
Oh God. Instead of a documentary, can it be like The Crown with like actors?
Yes.
I find that
Ooh.
that's gonna be
Absolutely.
more
Because you're
interesting.
going to marry a prince in England. That's right. Absolutely.
Is there a particular actress that you want portraying you?
No, not right now. Maybe my grandchild will play me. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
So
I
what
don't know.
should be in that life story?
I hope that if anyone ever makes a film about myself or a doc or scripted, I hope that it'll really cover and talk about some complicated family relationships, the conflict of leaving home and then now trying to find home again and not really sure where that is. I hope that it will talk about how important it is to find yourself in your 20s, not necessarily needing to settle down early. Actually, settle down doesn't have to be, shouldn't be your goal and target in life, period. I think I want my future grandkids to see that it's okay to do things for yourself sometimes and figure things out as you go. And then life is about figuring things out, because once you figure out one thing, is the next thing and the next thing, and it's just the part of the process, and it's the journey that matters, not the destination. So yeah.
Beautiful, really beautiful.
I want to watch that documentary. I want to watch that film. Yeah.
I want to see the Cinderella moment.
Yeah, that's Cinderella moment.
It has to be in that
Yeah.
documentary film about you.
Exactly, and then
Definitely.
the shots from the paintings obviously needs to be on the
Yeah,
film
yeah.
as well.
That's the closing credits
eh,
sequence, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes.
and this you showing that broken chair.
Yeah.
It's gotta be in that life
This
story.
whole interview.
Yeah.
This whole interview.
Yes.
That chair
That's the
is still there.
That's the title of your documentary, The Broken Chair with a Bin.
Yeah. And it's still meant to be fixed.
Exactly. Someone should still fix it.
It will be fixed. Cheyenne, it's honestly it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful to spend this hour with you. You are just so warm, so real, and I've learned so much about you. And I think that the future is so bright. You know, I've watched a bit of the films of both of your documentaries as well. I think you're so talented. You really tell stories from the heart. And thank you so much for being on the show. And as you know, we're creating this time capsule for your future grandkids. So it's the last thing on the show. If you could leave a message for them, what do you want to say to your future grandkids?
Okay, so dear future grandkids, I think it's okay. This is harder than I thought. Okay. Let me redo that. Take two.
No.
Dear future grandkids, I hope that you are kind to yourself and to others. I hope that you can go over to your parents right now and give them a hug and tell them that you love them. I hope you say I love you often, a lot more than I'm sorry. But even if you have to say, sorry, I just made a face. My brother just logged in. He just posted a comment.
Which brother? Brother?
The twin brother. The
twin.
He says, "Hey, she looks familiar."
Oh, there you go.
This is
Somebody
perfect
took him
timing.
off. Somebody
Have you
took him
just
off.
logged in?
He's
Have you just
talking
logged in,
about you.
or did you hear when we were talking about you?
No, I think he just logged in. So good, because we were talking smack about
Yeah,
you
don't
right before this.
This is perfect. That encapsulates your relationship with your twin brother.
Oh God.
Okay, now you gotta be all serious again, but now in front of your twin brother.
Yeah, but yeah, I hope that you'll say I love you to people more than I'm sorry. But even if you do have to say I'm sorry, that's okay too. I hope you own your narrative and live life unapologetically according to your own rules and terms. That's it. Bye.
Oh, I love it. Bye. You're flustered now. Your twin brother has come in. I think the dynamics have changed in the show.
Just ruined everything as usual.
And he didn't think that we would read the comments.
Oh, we read them all.
Yes.
Do
We
you
read
wanna
them all.
Shine, you want to order some food now since he's on the comment section as well, so he knows what to get for you.
Yeah, how to get for you, huh?
I think I told him that right before I got on this call already. So think it forward, guys.
Cheyenne, thank you so much for being on the show today. You've been very inspiring, as Jen said. And, you know, we know you're going to change the world. If not the whole world, you know, definitely the world of a lot of people. So, you know, really, really
No
inspiring.
pressure.
But no pressure.
Yeah,
and we love that you can do that and you can be devoted to that and still be a fan of BTS and still have that broken chair beside you.
Yeah.
You know, you're very real and grounded.
Yes. and homeless sometimes.
Sometimes,
Sometimes.
you know, we wish somebody would come and give you that other shoe. and, and he would go, yeah, I'm selling this on eBay. You want it?
Yeah, we
Thanks,
love it. And
Cheyenne.
I know that there's someone sitting there, in Kuching or somewhere else who really, really wants to make documentary stories and they don't know how to. And I think you've really inspired people today with all your advice. And certainly I'm going to put my hand up for a blind date because now I know what to say. That's not true. I'm never going on a blind date. But I'd be more willing to. I'd be more willing to than it wouldn't be a straight out no. But we'd love to thank you so much. And thank you so much to our viewers, all our viewers for joining us. We do love Rani, Bree, twin brother, Rain, Sharon, Lara, Eric, Ken, oh my goodness, Wolf Spain, all of you guys, Paratosh, S. Nicholas, Bree, Donna, Benedict, oh my goodness, so many of you. We love having you here. We love the interaction and the love you bring to our guests. We treasure you so much, and we do read all your comments, so thank you very much. And always remember, if you can't change your past, you can always change your future.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for watching Dear Future Grandkids. Like always, I'm Jien in Singapore. That's Perci in the Philippines, Ange in Hong Kong. And our wonderful, wonderful guest for now in Kuching, Sarawak in East Malaysia. We don't know where she'll be next. Cheyenne Tan. Thank you very much for being on the show. And thank you all for watching. Take care. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.